How's everyone doing out there? Feel free to use the comments down below to answer any of these questions I pose to everyone in the audience listening and watching. Even if you just want to say, good, thanks. I'd like to start the show with something uplifting. This is from my hometown. And in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I would like to thank that we are not all this reckless. I know this off-ramp really well. It's on Interstate 93 North, exit 1 to Rockingham Park Mall. And it is pretty curvy, but as long as you keep it under about 100. Whoa, cool your jets, buddy. Whoa, ay. I'm pretty sure he was fine, but thank God we're not him anyways. I have a quick question I'm really interested in. If anyone in the audience can answer this for me, I would be really appreciative. It's kind of off topic, but I would really like to hear anyone who has had an experience with this type of chair. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Is it worth the money? Are you a dentist? Or what do you do in it? Do you do operations? Is it worth $1,000? I've been looking into the proper ergonomics, and I've come to the conclusion on my own that you want to be in a saddle-ish position so that your hip angle is greater than 90 degrees. It helps you straighten your back out. But these saddle chairs are extremely expensive. And before I found them, I was trying to make my own stuff, but it is pretty hard to get something with the combination of giving you an open hip angle without putting pressure on your sciatic nerve. So, to be honest, it is hard to make these kind of shapes on your own. To do a do-it-yourself project on one of these saddle chairs, it's a bit ridiculous. So I've been up since before sunrise. I'm not really sure. Maybe 7 actually. It's not even early. But we just got the stool done. The chair. I mean, it seems so stupid, but it's really so important. I'm gonna get work done now. Sitting on it. Yeah, so this is the basement. It's where we store our stash of Italian pasta that we bought in Italy. And there's some German pasta in here as well, and just other things. And this is where I'm gonna work on my special chair, which is supposed to enable me to work 12 hours without stopping or even getting up. Well, actually, you still have to get up to pee, but physically not need to get up. Not great, but could make the difference. I'd like to tell you guys a little story. It's about humanity. We started out in the jungle. We were kind of like apes. That was the very, very beginning. Then we started walking around outside the jungles. Presumably because there was a big climate shift and we lost the access to good fruit. The walking kind of had to straighten our backs for that. But then recently we started doing a lot of sitting. Sitting is a great way to curve your back. And the reason for that is thusly. If your back is straight, chances are your legs are straight. As soon as you lift your knees up and this angle becomes greater than about 15 degrees, like for walking, the tendency you have is to curve your back. That's the natural position when you have your knees up. So in an office chair, it's not this exaggerated, but in an office chair at 90 degrees, over time, your back fatigues, and the only thing left to do is this. The way to prevent your back from fatiguing would be to straighten your hips out so that your back isn't actually the only thing working alone to keep your upper body straight. Your hips can help you because it is what your hips do. Behind your belly button on the back side, there's this muscle that kind of like cranes your whole body up. But if you have your legs up like this, that muscle is stretched out. It can't help you anymore. So if your legs are at a 90-degree angle, that muscle doesn't do anything. You have to do it all up here. But if you want straight back, the best thing to do is just straighten your legs. Not all the way, because as soon as you lock your knees out, then you're going like this. So you want bent knees, like a snowboarder, bent knees, and your back will be straight. But that's only at about 30 degrees. This angle here, if you do a line from here down, and then that, this angle of my elbow, that's about as much as you can curve up your knees before you start hunching your back. So I've been working on a little saddle stool here. Had so many different iterations. I was just working on it for a while this morning. Had this on there, had a seat post on there, but the main issue with this, it's not that it didn't work to keep the legs straight, which helped to keep the back straight. It's that there's way too much pressure on the saddle because your feet aren't on the pedals, and that really, really overstresses the sciatic nerve. But the main brand in this space is Sally, and it is hilarious how expensive these chairs are. Stools, really, is what they are. And there are knockoffs. You can find them on AliExpress, but even Amazon has knockoffs. It's just a question of whether or not it's actually good. And I'm sure the Sally chairs are good, but what if they're not? What if I'm wrong? It's like $1,000, and they're really heavy. I mean, I guess you could return it. They supposedly have a great warranty, but I would really like to hear anyone who has had an experience with this type of chair. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Is it worth the money? Are you a dentist? What do you do in it? Do you do operations? Is it worth $1,000? Should I buy it? Crazy fact. I never thought I would say this, but I found a country with even higher value-added tax than Germany. I'm in Germany. Here we suffer under a 19% value-added tax or sales tax. I'm from New Hampshire, where that first video was from. That's Salem, New Hampshire, right over the border of Massachusetts. We have no sales tax at all. I can't believe 19%. But in Finland, apparently they have 24% tax. They were not to be outdone. The Finns beat the Germans by a full 5%. And that's where these Sally chairs are made. As if they're not already expensive enough, you're paying 24% tax? Okay, speaking of Germany, I thought it'd be cool to ask the Germans in the audience to help us translate something that would be really difficult to find in a dictionary. So if you're German and you know what this is called, please let me know. If I get an answer for this, I'll definitely make it a recurring segment. Roll the footage. In case you haven't already noticed, this is a very interactive episode. ULM X is undergoing a major rebranding right now. And in 2020, I'm going to be going all in on this app, building out the functionality and content. So, in an advisory meeting, before we got started on any of that, my number one advisor told me it needs a new name. ULM X or ULM X or ULM X is just not appealing enough to a wide enough audience. And I had been thinking along the same lines and immediately replied, yes, we need to call it Realtalk. And that concluded the meeting only seconds after it had commenced. So it's called Realtalk, but because Realtalk.com would have cost 100,000 euros, the URL is going to be learnoutloud.com with hyphens between the words. Learn-out-loud.com. So, in building a new brand, you also need a new logo. And the contenders are what I want to show you guys right now. We've worked with a bunch of different typefaces, color schemes, and icons. And at this point, we've settled on the concept, but we want to hear your opinion about what looks best to you, what you like the look of, and what you like the feel of. So the logo is, of course, the name, Realtalk, and the URL, which you'll recognize from just a moment ago, learnoutloud.com. And the icon is a set of lips, which illustrates the verbal aspect of what we're trying to do here. Focus on the verbal speech abilities. And you'll also notice it kind of looks a little bit like a heart. And the reason that that's appealing is because it illustrates the emotional connection that the language learner has with the language, especially when they focus on speech. The emotional connection you form with the language when practicing speaking is just a lot stronger than when you're practicing writing or even listening. So that heart combination with the lips, illustrating the fact that you're going to practice moving your lips in a new way, and also a little second meaning, a little double entendre with the heart and the emotional connection you make to the language. We like the concept. What we really want to work on is just the aesthetic and transferring that all in a quick glance. So what's your reaction? So here's another example of the logo. This might be an ad where we're just going to show our slogan and the logo. Something like when Apple did Think Differently, or Think Different, actually, is the way they did it, which is grammatically incorrect. But that's just the way of the world of advertising. They always play with the language. So express yourself would be our slogan in this case, and we're just trying to compare, which lip looks nicer? The puckered up lip, the more of a stretched out lip? What do you think? Let us know. Please, the comments are there for that reason.